This was recent, and I was heading home still wearing my cat ears and tail. I was aware that most normal people are weirded out by a grown woman wearing this. I was super tired and had just finished helping a friend who is disabled and staying at a hotel near the convention. I was taking the bus home because I only came for a day. So I decided at a stop to remove my ears and tail, which I should have done at the hotel. My bad. I was aware of a small child and her mom. I put the ears and tail into my grab bag my friend bought me, and I was sitting down to wait for the bus. Here comes the trouble. No sooner as I sit down, the little child, a girl, reached her hand into my bag. "Mommy, it's soft." I look over and politely close the bag. She wanders back to her mom, who asks me about the convention, which I answered yes, I went. "Then you won't mind if my daughter tries on the ears and tail?" She seemed to think this was okay. It was not. The ears and tail were made for adults, not kids. I politely said no. The mother's friend walked up looking offended. "Why not? You're not wearing it, and besides you're an adult. You should just give it to her." The mother of the child looked at her friend. Now the mother was no M at all. She accepted the answer and just asked me where she could buy the set. I happily gave the unentitled mom the web pitch and warned her on the prices. Her friend was a total M, demanded I just give my set to the child. "Look, we all know you're just a freak. Just give it to my friend's daughter." Her friend was bitching to all high hell. Just take it from her. Clearly you have a right to. Unentitled mom. Shut it down right then and there. She said no, and besides red is not my daughter's color. They have a pink one on the site. I will order it when we get home. I also informed the that she can pick the size more suited to her child, which she told me thank you. The M on the other hand was left to stew for a minute and then spouted, "I hate Comic Con freaks, they are all the same. A bunch of babies who clearly never grew up. I'm so glad I will never let my kids be into that." I whisper to her friend, "I sincerely hope her kids do become nerds, just spite her." We had a good laugh as I waved to her daughter and said, "I bet you're so cool as a pink kitty." This is not my story. The main characters was traveling from the same holiday travel bus. I think it's nice to share for a good laugh. Ek equals entitled kid, M equals entitled mom, G equals guy, and D equals nice dude. Went back to hometown by the traveling bus. G took out his phone to entertain, then Ek kept staring at him. G allowed Ek to stare because he was causing no harm until he started talking. Ek, give me that phone. G, do we know each other? Ek, fucking no. Just give me that. G, give my ass. My niece and nephew even have to ask politely for it, and I wouldn't give it to them. Who the hell are you to talk with that voice? Ek, give it to me. He screamed and cried out loud on the bus. Here comes M. Just give it to him. It's the International Children's Day. 1/6. You made him cried. G, anybody can have my phone, but not your child M. Now, let him have it. He's a kid. He knows nothing. G, a no is a no, miss. M, yeah sure, as if I need it. M turned away while Ek continued to cry. Then ND gave Ek his iPhone. ND, you could have it, so stop crying. And OMFG that Ek threw his phone out of the window screaming, "I don't fucking like it." Everyone on the bus was surprised, including Ek's mom. A few moments passed by and surprise, ND slapped the shit out of Ek. Ek lost a tooth from the slap, lol. Edit. Since I saw a comment asking, I would like to explain that long ride bus like this tends to be more than a 2-hour ride to far and not popular places, which means we would cross rice fields and empty places without people living. So TBH, there was nothing we can do. Hey guys, just felt like putting this out there. English isn't my first language, so forgive me for any mistakes in this post. Okay, unfortunately, like many of the posts on this subreddit, the M in this story is my own mother. Well, this is awkward point, so a bit of background information. My family adopted a cat a year ago. His name is Baguette. He has some trust issues and I won't exactly describe him as affectionate, but I'm fine with that. I'm just glad that I have a pet. My mother treats him like a dog. She doesn't seem to understand that he needs time to warm up, and she scared him at their first encounter by being too affectionate, patting him, holding him etc. Later on, as we began to let him explore the house a bit more, he hid under my bed for a while. I spent some time with him, and he started to like me. He soon gained the confidence to leave the bottom of my bed and sniff around my room, but as soon as he hears a loud noise or someone else walking in, he quickly goes back in again. My mother lost her patience trying to coax him out at some point and did something that really scared him. I couldn't recall what she did, but she probably dragged him out forcefully or kicked him or something. Also, whenever he passes by, she would stomp her foot to scare him. Anyway, he started avoiding her whenever he could point. Sometimes he couldn't hide fast enough and he ends up being grabbed by her. She would pin him to the ground and stroke him aggressively. She would squeal and carry him and squeeze him really hard. When he tries to fight back, she would hold him harder and yell at him. Once he managed to break free, but then as he was running away, she yanked so hard on his tail he let out a loud blood-curdling scream. This broke my heart. I've never heard him make that noise before. I tried to stop her every time she did this, but she would glare at me and tell me to shut up. Today she ripped him from my bed and dropped him onto the ground. He was curled up in a defensive ball, so his spine hit the floor first. As usual, she pinned him to the ground and forced him to stay. His fur was on end and his ears were completely flattened. He hissed and bit, but she held him up and shook him. He has a wound at the base of his ear and she's forcefully pulling at his ear to see it. I confronted her, and here is the conversation. Me, the hell are you doing? Ignoring me. Let me see your wound, goddammit. Me, raising voice. Please stop. You're hurting him. I don't care. He's hurt, so I will apply alcohol to his wound. She stands up holding him with one hand and gets a bottle of alcohol with the other. Me, what? You can't do that. It might be too strong for him. He will be fine. She drops him on the ground again and holds him down. Me, let go of him. Why are you doing this? Every time I visit him in your room, he hisses and spits at me. I don't like it. Me, WTF. He's so obviously scared of you. The last thing anyone would do to gain the trust of an animal is to invade its personal space and forcefully hold it. No wonder he hates you. That's not how you treat an animal. This ain't it, man. Smirking. Well, by doing this, I'm going to make him less scared of me. Me. Yo, TF is this logic, man. Ignores me again and pats Baguette. He's pleading her to let him go, but obviously she doesn't give a fuck. Me, dear God, can you just let Geo of him and Geo away and never touch him again? You're abusing him and you're not helping him at all. He's lost his trust in you completely. You can't reverse this point. How dare you raise your voice at me? I'm your mother, who's paying for all his food and toys. I will disown him. Me, you might be paying for his stuff, but you sure as hell don't love him. Leave him alone, please. More complicated things happen, but basically she doesn't understand and yells at me for being angry at her. This happens at least thrice a week. I'm sick of seeing my cat being abused by my mother. My dad tries to help, but he's powerless against her. She would throw a massive tantrum and guilt trip the shit out of both of us. By the way, my grandparents don't give a shit. They're against cats and having pets in general, but at least they don't scare Baguette when they come around to visit. My mother isn't a very bad parent, but she gets overexcited when Baguette is around and tortures him and laughs when he's scared. She would punish me sometimes for speaking out for Baguette, mostly confiscating things. He's scared and I'm scared. I don't know what to do. Edit. I'm really hesitant to call the police on my mum, because as much as I hate to see her abusing my cat, I can't bear to see her arrested. Also, she's the main source of income. Without her I can't go to school and continue my extracurriculars anymore. As for my dad, he doesn't seem to be taking me seriously either. I honestly think that I'm too young to make such big decisions. Calling the police. I believe it is best if I contact a teacher or someone. Edit 2. I'm contacting a relative who is close enough to M to confront her, but also close enough to me to believe what I say and take me seriously. She has experience with a cat before, so if things go wrong I can send Baguette over to hers. I'll update soon.